I would like to talk about the power of silence in acting. Do you want more presence, authority, and impact in your work as an actor? In this video, I will transform the way that you understand silence. I will help you recognize its potential so that you can value it and show you how to use it fully and effectively in your craft. What is silence in the art of acting? Silence is a combination of truth, energy, and immersion. Even within the most eloquently written play or screenplay, the most powerful actors still often find room to do something radical. They stop talking. Not just arbitrarily, but they do it because they are immersed. Something so true and so alive is happening that words become unnecessary. Sometimes words actually get in the way. Silent power in acting is not passive, and it is definitely not just dead air. It is the presence of human truth. It is carried by psychic energy, revealed through stillness, and it always taps directly into the audience's nervous system. When this perfect storm of acting occurs, words become irrelevant. As Miles Davis said, in music, silence is more important than sound. A similar thing can be said for acting. Here's something else that silence does that is important for actors to know. Silence, when it's filled, transmits truth. Words are symbols and they describe experience. Truth, on the other hand, is embodied experience. An audience can feel and recognize human truth. Hesitation, certainty, resistance, relief. These are not events that always need to be verbalized. They are internal and filled with energy. That's why a single silent moment can land much more deeply than pages and pages of dialogue. It's something that bypasses the head and goes straight for the heart. When silence is inhabited by the truth, the audience is not just observing the actor, they feel them. Just like Al Pacino's Michael Corleone in The Godfather, as he sits at dinner with the two enemies that he is preparing to assassinate. Inside of those silences, we become Michael. Here's something else important about silence. Silence is filled with psychic energy. In acting, psychic energy is not a mystical thing. It is also not something that the actor pushes for. In acting, psychic energy is full immersion, clear intention, emotional electricity, thinking loudly, and it's also an undeniable connection to a need. In life, we feel this energy all the time. When someone enters the room and the atmosphere shifts, when a look that somebody gives us tells us that there's something unresolved, or when tension lives without the need to be explained. The trusting actor understands that this is always more than enough. It doesn't mean that you're not going to say your lines. It means that the space in between the lines are just as alive as if you were given a whole entire monologue. Actors with presence of this filled psychic energy, they're not just louder or bigger, they are full. It's a big difference. Just like Viola Davis's Rose in Fences, when she is struck silent after the shock of hearing that her husband is having a baby with another woman. It is important that the actor knows how to fill silence with truth. Empty silence is meaningless. As it is in life, silence is only powerful in relationship to a clear human truth that runs through it. Filling silence with truth occurs when the character recognizes something within themselves, a big decision has been made, or a circumstantial reality is deeply experienced. There is a real, full experience happening within. Nothing needs to be spoken because nothing needs to be explained. The silence becomes filled with density, emotional weight and gravity, clarity and life. The audience leans in because they recognize something profound. Just like Christopher Walken's private moment in The Deer Hunter, as the trauma that he experienced in the Vietnam War really hits him for the first time. Here's another thing about the power of silence. Silent power is gold. It doesn't require explanation. It speaks for itself. An actor can be silent before a line, after a line, or instead of a line. What matters is not the timing in the script, but whether or not truth exists inside of the actor's instrument. When the truth is present, silence becomes so powerful, and many times it becomes inevitable. It is never just arbitrary. Here's something interesting to think about. A great writer, a great playwright, a great screenwriter, sometimes they have an understanding of what might happen after one of the characters says a major thing, or they have a big confrontation, or they have a big monologue. You'll see that in good writing, the writer will put in a silence, maybe a long silence or a pause. They'll write it into the material, and it often comes at the perfect time for the actor to explore something outside of the lines in this way of bringing truth and depth into a silence. This is very similar to Harry Dean Stanton's Travis in Paris, Texas. This is provided by the writer, where his character is wandering around mute. He can't even speak. And we learn later in the film that this is because he has suffered a deep and profound loss. Another great thing that silence is in the art of acting, it becomes an opportunity for an artful release. In real life, the deepest emotional releases often happen in silence. You see it in many different ways. Sometimes it happens when someone finally accepts something that they have been fighting to try to deny, or an internal struggle is brought to an end, or just the simple fact that grief flows through every thought and every breath that someone takes. There is no outburst, no monologue. The energy of silence doesn't leave the body, it moves through it. Audiences recognize this type of thing because it's universal. Our nervous system, as an audience, understands this release. And silence, artful silence, becomes a shared physiological experience between the actor and the audience. And this is where silence becomes artful. Silence also helps create presence. Presence for an actor is not about personality, and it's definitely not something that you push for. Silence is everything that personality is not. It is subtle, it is private, and it is vulnerable. Actors with great presence understand the value of being emotionally full, and they don't allow themselves to detach. They also know how to allow their emotional life to flow through them without feeling the need to push. There's a willingness to leave space for contradiction, even confusion, and an inner struggle. They trust stillness to be enough to carry the weight of the character. It's something that my mentor Susan Batson told us all the time in acting class. Remember that you are enough. And this always took the pressure off of us to try to be great or to try to hit the audience over the head about what we were experiencing in the scene. In both stage and film, it is essential to understand the power of the truth is enough, and it will come across to the audience. If you are experiencing it for real, the audience will automatically experience it with you. That's the power of truth combined with the psychic energy that releases it out of you. In terms of silence, the actor's real question should not be, how long should I hold this silence for? Instead, the question should be, is there a truth inside of me? If the answer is yes, the silence will organically lead you to the next moment, the next line, or the next transition. In the last shot from the film The Graduate, director Mike Nichols kept the camera rolling long after the scene was supposedly over, to allow the actors to let go of their obligation and just simply exist in their characters. What resulted was a classic end to a classic film. It was a silence filled with uncertainty, disillusionment, and complexity. It resulted in a powerful truth rather than just a clear-cut, cookie-cutter happy ending. In conclusion, silence is something that fills the room. Audiences don't watch faces, they don't feel technique, and they don't feel behavior. They connect to real energy living and breathing inside of a three-dimensional human being. Words describe what something means. Silent power transmits to and transforms the audience. Presence stops being just something the actor chases, and it becomes something that they are. And that is silent power. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe for more videos like this one. Click on the description below for links to our website and to learn more about the new Collective Acting Studio and our private coaching membership. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.